At least 3 American mothers and 6 children from a little American Mormon community based in northern Mexico have been massacred in an attack blamed on drug cartel gunmen. The victims belong to the LeBaron family. They were ambushed about 8 miles apart in the Mexican border state of Sonora on Monday. At the time of the attack, 17 of the family members were traveling in 3 cars from La Mora, a breakaway settlement founded decades ago in Mexico. There are reports that some of the family members who were dual U.S.-Mexico citizens were heading to celebrate a wedding anniversary in the United States. Several members now of the family have described the horrific scenes, including how gunmen opened fire on one child running away and others burning to death inside the cars that they torched. Other children managed to escape and hide by the roadside while one of their mothers was shot in the chest as she exited the car and put her hands up to surrender. Relatives fear many of the women and younger victims may have been raped. One family member described how a boy managed to hide his wounded siblings, some less than a year old, in the bushes before he ran back to the nearby town to get help after his mother was gunned down. The motive for the attack is not yet clear, although it is possible it was an attempted kidnapping. A family member reported receiving a phone call hearing screams before they were executed. The group had previous run-ins with organized crime cartel in the area, including one member being killed. One family member, however, believes the recent attack was just a case of mistaken identity. If you look at the children that were killed, it is absolutely horrific. Family members of Ronita Maria LeBaron was driving to Phoenix on Monday with her 4 children to pick up her husband and then return to Mexico to celebrate their wedding anniversary. Relatives say her car had broken down when the gunman opened fire and torched her vehicle, causing the gas tank to explode. She was killed along with her twin 6-month-old babies, her 10-year-old daughter, and 12-year-old son Howard. 8 miles away in different attacks, several other family members were gunned down. Christina Johnson, 29. Donna Langford, 43. 2 of her children, Trevor, 11, Rogan, 3, also died when traveling in 2 other SUVs. The family members say Christina saved her 7-month-old baby Faith's life by throwing the infant to the floor of the SUV as bullets tore through the vehicle. 7 children survived, but suffered multiple gunshot wounds. When is enough enough, America? When is enough enough? A video posted by a relative on social media shows the charred remains of the Chevy Suburban. It had been burned following an explosion with smoldering bullet holes visible in the paneling. The male voice said, "This is for the record." Nita and 4 of my grandchildren were burnt to death and shot up. Mexico is a failed state. It is now a narco state. The drug cartels are in control. We have a failed state on our border and no defense. We have Americans going to a very dangerous state because we fail to recognize it. We don't. The media and the politicians fail to recognize the danger on our border. 2 things should happen. These were American citizens that were gunned down. Two things should happen. We need to build the wall, and we need to change our drug laws. It is because of our drug laws we have Chicago on the other side of the border. Just like when we had prohibition in Chicago, it feeds these fiends. It feeds the evil. Now, here's the problem. We live in a society that has absolutely no responsibility, absolutely no self-control. The drugs are not just coming from Mexico. The drugs are also coming from China. And if you know anything about the Opium War that England levied against China back in the 1800s, it's easy to see, oh my gosh, they're doing the exact same thing to us. China is using the tactic used by Britain. Great Britain went into Afghanistan and took all the opium and started selling it across the border and got the Chinese people just addicted to opium. That's how they won the Opium War. China had nothing they could do other than surrender. Stop, 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 stop. What are they doing to us today? They're shipping opium over to us in mass quantities. They are addicting our people. And we are empowering the worst of the worst. These are terrorist organizations. And we are empowering them. When are we going to stop playing politics? When are we going to start actually looking at actual facts? I saw a story today about how bad our school systems are. That we have the worst school systems now than we've ever had. And I thought to myself, gee, I wonder if anybody's going to look into how we had the best school systems 100 years ago to the worst school systems that are spending the most amount of money in the entire world. We spend more money on our schools than anybody else in the entire world. And yet we get the worst results? How is that possible? It's possible because it's all designed by the federal government, and it is all nothing but a bureaucracy. Give the power back to the people. It is astonishing to me, absolutely astonishing, that in an era where everything is customized. You can soon make your Tesla and change out the bodies. Just leave. You need a truck this week? Don't go rent a truck. You just go down to Tesla and they'll just put the truck body on your car and you'll have a truck. Everything is customizable to you. And yet, what are we doing? Those same people that love custom-made everything and demand it and feel ripped off if it's not customizable, we're demanding a giant one-size-fits-all bureaucratic state? How asleep are you, America? How hypnotized are you? How dead inside are you to what's really going on? We're enslaving our children through debt. We're enslaving our children through a lack of education. They are absolute idiots. Our history hasn't been lost. Our history has been taken from us. And we know it. And what do? What do? We save our money. We go into debt. And then we take all of that money and pay 400% more than we did 10 years ago to take our little lambs and lead them right into the hands of the butcher through education. Here, kids, we've worked 18 years to shape you, to mold you, to help you learn how to think. Let me give you right over to the hands of a butcher who's going to undo all of those things. Oh, and we're going to go into debt doing it. What the hell is wrong with us? There's two other related stories here. Let me give you this one. Following months of national media coverage over the handling of illegal aliens in custody, Montgomery County, Maryland, is starting to reverse their sanctuary policy. The county executive, Mark Ehrlich, is going to allow Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE agents, the ability to access certain areas of Montgomery County Jail in order to apprehend illegal aliens. County spokesperson confirmed that to the local news outlet that correctional officers have been ordered to give ICE agents clearance to identified areas of the jail to ensure that transfers are conducted in a safe environment. Why are they suddenly changing this? Well, because crime started to go off the roof. A string of rape charges. Criminal aliens. Oh, we just want to be compassionate. We want to be compassionate. We don't need ICE. We won't give any of these people over to ICE. Until rape numbers went through the roof, perpetrated by illegal aliens. Finally, the people have had enough and said enough. There's a new study in California that shows that just over half of California's registered voters are considering leaving the state. Again, over half of the registered voters in California have said enough is enough. You know, so at some point, you run out of places to run. Where are you going to go? Because this insanity is everywhere. Yes, there are worse places. God help the poor people who believe in law and order in Portland, Oregon. But this is a disease, and it is spread throughout society. And this disease kills all common sense. We have a choice to make.